Yo, what up, baby? DJ Sus One. It's the Feature Presentation Podcast. And we got big talent in the building, talented in many ways. Race car driving, he owns it. You know what I'm saying? He has a movie now based off of his entire journey in his life. We're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? He's keeping the light skin culture alive. He comes in here with a suit that's making me look crazy. All right? Jann Mardenborough. What's up, boy?
How you doing, man?
You look good, my G.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, man.
I like the chain.
Oh, thank you. This is actually the company right here, the Feature Presentation.
That's ace.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's talk about it. How does it feel to have a movie based on your journey, Gran Turismo?
Yeah, it's surreal because, getting into racing the way I did it through a racing game, Gran Turismo. It's my dream to be a racing driver ever since I was 8 years old. So that's kind of crazy enough to kind of follow your dream and create your life and to follow through with your dreams and make it reality. That's cool enough for me. But then to have a movie be based on how I did it and a part of my life, the first 4 years really of my life of getting into racing, a huge film, Hollywood film with Sony Pictures. I didn't imagine that. So it's weird. Like if you wrote it down, the script of what had happened. Okay, normal guy, went to university, drops out, enters a PlayStation competition, wins it, becomes a racing driver, and then has a movie made about that part. It's like it's far-fetched.
Oh, it's an amazing story. I want to start with that. You grew up in England. How was it growing up in England, and what made you want to become a race car driver? Because you hear people say, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, but a race car driver, you got to be very talented, and it's very dangerous. So what made you excited about that? What made you passionate about it?
I believe in fate, really. I believe that everybody has like a God-given gift and talent. I have two great parents. My dad used to play professional football for 13 years. So, and this is in a time where there wasn't TV money involved. There wasn't big sponsorship. This was in the 80s. He just did it out of love. And I remember him telling me and my brother from a young age, do something in life which brings you purpose and that you're passionate about. When you're 8 years old, you don't really understand those words. Once I had a concept of what a job was, I started watching motorsport on TV around that time as well. And cars were my first interest in anything. I just latched onto that. So I want to be the guy that's behind the wheel of a racing car. And that was my dream. But it started from there.
Wow.
So I'd watched it on TV. I'd play the racing games, Gran Turismo. I've had one version, Gran Turismo 1, PlayStation 1, when I was 8, and I had all the versions since. As you say, motorsport is it's dangerous, but also it's extremely expensive. It's a joke. Like really, it's an absolute obscenity how expensive it is. But I understand why. My parents are just normal parents, work normal jobs. My dad now works on the railway, he still does, back then as well. My mum works in payroll. It's, to go racing, it's not feasible. But
that's what I was going to ask. So you're saying they said find something that you're passionate about. When you found this and you told them, were they completely like, go get it, son?
They knew that I had an interest in the sport because I used to watch it all the time. My whole family were interested in football because of my dad. My dad's side of the family I have 8 or 9 aunties and uncles, and they're all interested in football because my father was successful at it. My brother and my dad they're very similar, love football. I was never interested in this round thing. So when my dad would give me a football when I'm like 5 or 6, I didn't care. Did not care for it. All I cared for was these little matchbox cars. That was what I was interested in. And they never forced me to like it. My dad secretly was like, I wish he was good at it. But I don't know. I was just very sure that I love cars, I love racing, and that's what I want to do. Getting from A to B of becoming a driver is, there's many things that have had to happen. But yeah, I was very sure that's what I want. If there was ever an opportunity for me to fulfill that dream, I'm all in. So when you're in school and we have a careers advisor, like when we're like 15 and 16 years old, because everybody gets funneled to go to university. I mean, it's a bit of a joke, really, but it's not like I went to my careers advisor and when she asked me, so what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be a racing driver.
Yeah.
I'd never say that you keep it within yourself. So even with my friends, I never really spoke about it as much because it was such a far-fetched,
Yeah, a lot of the
unrealistic.
greats, their dreams are far fetched. Like I can relate, bro, because when I wanted to be a DJ when I was younger, nobody, my dad was a lawyer. He didn't see that. Fast forward, I'm doing radio, TV, traveled the world, DJing for Mariah Carey, and now, God rest his soul now. But when he was alive, he was saying how proud he was of me. And you have a movie based on your journey now. That's in theaters. Your family's proud of you. Everybody's proud of you. Sometimes, they don't see the passion. They don't see the journey, or what you have in your head. Until
Yeah,
it's until you get the goals.
that's a good point. Like, I'm very proud that I've represented my family name in a good way.
Yes, congrats, by the way.
Which yeah, I'm very thank you. I'm very happy with that. I just did me, man. Like I was, you gotta be selfish.
Well, look, people who haven't seen the movie talk about the journey. So you started in a video game contest,
Mm.
Gran Turismo video game contest. You were nice at it, right? You won. And then all of a sudden, how did it go right after that?
So when I won, I moved home. I moved to Northampton, which is a place near Silverstone, which is like the biggest, most popular race circuit in the UK, to do training. And then also in racing, we have not like when you have your road car, obviously you have your road license.
Mm-hmm.
In racing, there's different criteria of race license, which enables you to race in certain parts of the world and certain championships in racing, depending on your grade. And I had to get an international C race license, which is shown in the movie as an FIA race license. So I was racing a lot, trying to get competent, better, faster, learn, cut my teeth, earn a reputation in those 6 months of living after the academy. And I was very much aware there was so much media around as well. Now I can appreciate it because with the movie right now, it's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
There's lots of cameras and stuff. Whereas back then it was similar. But that isn't normal in motorsport, really. But I was just very, very busy. And all I cared about is my my progression as a racing driver. I didn't care for any of the media. I didn't Instagram, YouTube, don't care. I just want to make sure my progression is exponential. So I was quite hard on myself for a long time because I'm quite a grounded person anyway. My dad was always grounded me, and the people that I had around in my circle they were from Northern England, and they'll let you know if you're kind of getting a bit above your station.
Mm-hmm.
But it was wild, man. Like it was really cool.
How is the training? How do you train for something like this? I'm tell you straight up, I would be scared. When I started taking my regular driver's license, when I started driving a regular vehicle, it was nerve-wracking. So, yeah, how did the training go at the beginning stages?
I guess for me, I thought anything that I need to do to get better at racing a racing car better or quicker, I'll do. So, I mean, it's intense. You're judged on everything. The fitness is insane. It's very, very in depth with that. Like with racing, you work muscles that don't really get normally used in real life. I mean, we have a muscle behind our ear.
Mm-hmm.
There's a muscle there, and that for a while was
A muscle behind your ear?
yeah.
I feel like every girlfriend I've ever dated had that muscle. They hear everything.
Yeah, I mean, they get marks, right? Like
Yeah.
around there. But yeah, in racing, it gets worked, and it's just getting your body used to that. With people that have come through the traditional route of karting, you've heard of the 10,000 hour rule, right?
No, tell me.
You do 10,000 hours of anything, you become an expert in it.
Mm.
Your 10,000 hours is obviously
Yeah,
is this
Yes.
more. You know everything inside out. My 10,000 hours was done on Gran Turismo. Normal racing drivers, the traditional route karting, it's in real life in a go kart. So you have this feel, you have this innate feel through your body. Whereas mine, I was missing a sensation. I'd have at home, you have your eyes and what you feel through your hands through the steering wheel, but now stepping into a real racing car, you have this extra sensation, the vibration of the seat,
Mm-hmm.
the feeling through your backside, and it's tuning that with my 10,000 hours with my hands and my eyes. It's tuning that, which takes time. So Man, it's with GT Academy. We had a lot of instructors, I had a lot of mentors, and just a lot of hours, a lot of sitting down, classroom lessons.
And a lot of accolades. You was the winner of the GT Academy in 2011 for beating 90,000 entrants. That's bananas. You were third in your class. Sports Pro Media named the 50th on their 2015 most marketable athletes.
Yeah, so I remember that, and this was at the time. Was that 2012? You say
That one is at 2015.
okay.
2011 was you beat out 90,000 entrants.
So with that, yeah, even at that moment in life, with racing, I didn't care for that. I was like, I remember reading that, and I was like, great.
Really? You wasn't proud at that moment?
Because I was not. It's proud, yes, but it's not like I leveraged it. Whereas now, I realize how important that was. But at that moment in time in my life, I didn't care for anything else. All I cared about was my speed, the stopwatch. That's all I cared about, which is why I guess the movies come off the back of is a thing, because I was so focused on the racing, and what I achieved with racing in my life during that period was enough for them to want to film a movie about it.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe if I did care about it, I was very much in the source and loving the cameras and doing videos all the time, and maybe my progression was a bit more flatter. Maybe I wouldn't be as successful behind the wheel. Yeah, but it's
when you get older, you're gonna appreciate all this. I remember Eddie Murphy said in an interview, he was just focused on acting and comedy, and he wasn't really about the awards and the accolades and all that. But now that he's in his 60s, he really greatly appreciates it. He looks back at things differently. You know what I'm saying? How did it come to you that they were going to create this movie based off of your journey?
So it was 2017. I was living and racing in Japan out there, and we had a phone call with, I think, one of the producers, and they said, look, we would like to do this movie based on your life. Maybe it will happen, maybe not. But the key word was maybe, because I don't work with maybes, I work with certainties. So
Yes.
I'm racing in Japan. I'm like, okay, I know I have a race at Fuji Speedway next week. Your maybe of a maybe movie coming out about me, I'm not going to even focus on that.
But you had to be super wow.
Nah, not at all.
The phone call didn't make you
I
they're even
care.
considering this?
Didn't care, because it's a
Wow.
maybe. Yeah, I'm focused on my driving. I'm racing in the coolest cars in the world over there. It's my favorite championship with a team which I adore. It's a team, I was racing for a team called Impul. And for car fans, they'll know Impul and Team Calsonic, which is the longest running sponsorship of any car race team in history. That was the car I used to see on Gran Turismo when I was 10. And I'm racing for that team. So I didn't care for this because it's a maybe. However, 2 years later, when I started to meet these guys in person in London, they spent a few days with me, wanting to know everything about my life. Then it became now I need to actually sit down and dedicate some energy, make sure the script's good, tell them all the relevant information because my name's going to be on it. Then it became real. But when I first heard about it, I was like, what do you want me to do? Like, jump up and down? There's nothing
Somebody wanted to make a
tangible
movie
here.
based on me, I'd jump up and down. I would jump up and down.
Now I'm gassed, but back then
Now I'm gassed.
it was presented in a not certain light.
Yo, and how did you I don't want to mess up this young man's name. The actor that portrayed you.
Archie Madakwe.
Yes, exactly. How did you like the way he portrayed your whole entire character?
He's mega. So he's been I think in the movies there's multiple casting.
Yeah. Of course.
But he's been the producers, everybody's involved, favorite from day one. And so I was always updated throughout the last 2 years of who they like to be playing me. Because I only had 2 stipulations to the producers when they finally spoke to me about about the movie. I said, look, the guy got to look like me and he's got to have my name. So Archie looks like me. He's a lot taller than me, but he looks like me. And he has my name. We spoke once he was announced he was going to be playing me. We spoke on FaceTime that day, and then a week later we met in person at a racetrack, and we spent hours talking to each other. And he wanted to know everything. Like for me, I was very much at ease because I'd been involved in all the scripts, and I was at that point last year, 2022 June time. I was happy with the script, the final versions of it. And then so I was calm with that. And then meeting Archie, I was, again, after the hours of talking, I was kind of calm with him as well, because he was, when somebody's really interested in you, you get the vibe, okay, this person really wants to do a good job. So I was calm. I was like, great, you're gonna be great.
Nice.
I know it. So I went to set. I was on set. I was doubling myself as a stuntman. So all the
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that.
cool,
How was it being a stuntman on the actual project?
It was sick, because I got asked early.
Because that's a little bit different, right?
It's never been done. Nobody's had a biopic be made about them, and then that person be a stuntman doubling for themselves. It's never been done before.
Wow.
So I was gassed to do that. You know, racing's my world. I'm not. I like cameras, but I'm not a cinematographer. I don't know. I can't act, even though I auditioned for the role. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
How are they gonna turn you down? You're the person.
Well, it was very late. Like Neil Blomkamp, the director, we'd be in contact all the time, and he just said, "Dude," he texted me and then immediately rang me. He said, "Look, there's a 99% chance this isn't going to happen, because the studio's not going to be for you acting, playing yourself, considering they're spending like 3 figures on this movie and you've never acted before. However, I still want you to audition." So he sent me through these scripts, these 3 different scenes, and he said, "Look, go to a studio or somewhere, get someone to film you, and then send the footage to me, and I'll send it to the studio."
Yo, let me stop you right there. That's so weird, because I understand what they're talking about. Like, professional actors are different. They want somebody to be able to act, but they're acting as you are in reality. You wouldn't be actually acting. You would be being yourself and replaying the things that actually happen. And then Archie had to FaceTime you and go over what you could have just did normally by yourself. So I don't know, it's complicated.
Yeah, I mean, I give it a go. So when he proposed me this, I was sat in my car and I was like, well, what's the worst that can happen? Like, if I manage to get the gig, cool, that's great. It's another door that's been opened. If not, it's a funny story to tell that I didn't actually get the job.
I'll be yourself.
Play myself. So I talk about it a lot. It's like, I didn't actually get the job, which is funny. But yeah, Archie was great. And so being a stuntman, that's my world. I know cars. Steve Kelso, the stunt coordinator, he was really good at kind of bringing me in, showing me, you know, what it's about. A lot of the stunt drivers actually I've raced against, because there's a lot of racing drivers in that industry that do this as well. So it's like another world which I didn't really know of. And it was a lot of fun. All the stunt drivers said that my movie was the most fun they've ever had on set before.
Amazing.
Which is cool. And it's very weird going on set where there's 500 people. For the first day I arrived, there was 500 people on set at this racetrack, and I'd been there 7 years prior because for a race, so it was full. But now I'm going again, but it's full because they're filming my movie, which is such a mind. It plays with your mind.
Yeah, this journey is amazing, bro. And now you're a developer, correct?
No, I'm a still race driver.
Oh, so they gave me wrong information.
I think now on the movie I'm an executive producer apparently.
No, it says you're the executive producer, you're the co-producer, but also you're now in a development driver for Nissan.
Yeah, I've done this previously.
And McLaren.
Yeah, so no longer with McLaren or Nissan. I did this the last 2 years. I was developing an electric race car with them. Whereas now I'm a free agent. I'm racing, did a race in May in Japan.
Nice.
For a 24-hour race, which was great. And now it's sorting out contracts and talking to teams for next season, because now it's the time you want to start being in the paddock, talking to teams, preparing for next year for the season, because the season ends in around November, October. You want to get your contract sorted around then, and then the season starts April next year. So I want to race. I would like to do racing in America. I'd like to do IMSA.
Call me when you get here.
I will do. I think there's something to do here. So to race here in IMSA or GT3 or LMP1 hypercar, or the same thing in Europe as well in LMP1. I want to do Le Mans again.
Wow.
So yeah, now it's work. So the movie is great. It's coming out on August 25th. That's fantastic. It's out today in Europe. But I'm like focusing also, okay, racing.
Yes.
It's I'm not sat here just going, oh, this is fantastic. It's like, okay, I'm still racing. Let's go racing.
Are you into regular cars at all?
Yeah, I'm massive.
Really?
Massive. Yeah.
It seems like you're just really into the race cars.
Nah, I petrolhead at heart, man. Like I love cars. What are you?
No, I like the look of cars. I like the luxury of cars. But if you start talking to me about the engines and stuff, I'll be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, so what's your favorite looking car then? Do you have one?
Ooh, looking car. Maybe one of the Ferraris or those sports looking cars.
Mm.
But I tend to drive trucks a lot, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just a big dude. So this is regular car talk, guys. But maybe like the Range or something like that. Those are the regular everyday cars.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it just seemed like you're just not about that regular car life. Like if you go on a date, you picking them up in a race car.
Oh, that would be cool. Like, I do have a goal to convert a race car to drive on the road because
Mm.
I mean now you have car manufacturers. They'll say, "Oh, we have this fancy road car which is very fast on the track and it's amazing and it's very fast." But as a racing driver, I know that fast car for the track is nothing compared to an actual proper racing car.
Yeah.
It's nothing compares. It's violent. So when you have your manufacturer say, "Oh, we have this racing car for the road," it's not. It's not.
Nah,
Like
it's
you
not.
buy a race car and then we talk. Then you experience that. It's like being punched in the back by Mike Tyson.
The strong engine of a Ferrari, does it get close?
Like I have an old Ferrari,
Mm-hmm.
from '95. I like that era.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, and if people know cars, you have Ferraris are very good with an engine configuration called V12,
Mm-hmm.
and this is getting nerdy, but it's like music. Having an engine, a V12 engine, it's like music. That you feel the mechanical nature of the engine, each piston moving, and the sound of it as well. It's gorgeous,
Nice.
absolutely gorgeous.
What is the end goal for you? What's coming up in the near future? What are you trying to accomplish?
So again, Le Mans next year. The next 2 years, I can only see that far out because it's not like I thought about this movie was going to be a thing. So it's short-sighted for me to try to think what's going to happen in 5 years. But the next 2 years would be to do Le Mans in top class, LMP1, hypercar, do some racing in America as well in the same categories. Yeah, so I'm working towards that. But nothing's a given in this sport. Nothing is given. So it's, I guess it's like every industry. You're hot and then you're not. And at the moment it's hot. And so it's now working with people to get back out there and to not take advantage, but to utilize the opportunity that I have right now.
In closing, since you got a little bit of a taste of actually trying to audition to play yourself, do you think you could see yourself in the movie world at all? Or are you going to just stick with the race world?
I never say no to nothing, I give everything a go. So, I'd like to get involved in more stunts, actually, in the stunt industry.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it's quite very small, right? And I made some good contacts there. I was good at it as well. And acting, I mean, if somebody wanted to give me a role of acting, I would not say no. If it fitted in with everything, I would not say no. So, after that gig, actually, I went down to London to meet the casting agency who casted Archie off the back of that because Neil, the director, put me in contact with the lady that did the casting just to have a chat, just to give me some tips on the future. So I never say no to anything.
Nice. Well, Gran Turismo is out. What's the exact date now?
25th.
The 25th. Make sure you go see it. It's based off of Jann's whole entire journey. One of the best race car drivers out here. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, he was one of the best PlayStation players of all time as well. Shout out to PlayStation, shout out to Sony, and thank you for coming to the Feature Presentation Podcast, brother. And congratulations on everything.
Thank you, man.
It's one thing to reach your goals of what you were trying to accomplish, which for you was the race car driving, but to get to a space where they actually want to create a film about you, you've accomplished. Like anything else is extra, I'm assuming at this point.
I mean, when I agreed to the movie, I thought, okay, it's easy to say no because you open yourself up to many things because I just drive. But I thought, okay, if there's one person that watched the movie off the back of it, comes out the cinema and goes, okay, maybe I will get some interest in motorsport or I'll follow that dream that I've been putting off because of X, Y, Z. Then it's worth it. And I've had messages from people that have seen it already, and they're like, they find some positivity from it, which is I'm very blessed to have that opportunity.
Nice. Well, God bless, brother. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you're doing in the future.
Thank you, man.
All right, Jann. Thank you for coming to the feature presentation.
Thank you, man.